Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is June 30th, 2024. And today we're going to discuss how much space has Sergiño Dest left in Barcelona's wage bill. Also, it's reported that Barcelona have made or submitted the first offer for Jaden Philogene. And finally, İlkay Gündoğan has aimed a dig at Xavi. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I mentioned in today's video, I am currently out of town. I'm visiting my family in Las Vegas. This is why I'm not in my usual YouTube studio. And I usually travel. I take my camera with me. I do short live streams to keep you up to date on Barcelona news. Since I don't have my computer, I can't edit and upload video. So this is not a podcast, just a short live stream to give you the news. So I wouldn't be addressing the comment section, but I will be doing the podcast for the first time. Usually when I travel, I don't do podcasts. This time I will. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be doing podcasts, and I will be addressing the comment or the chat section. I haven't said all that. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and let's dive right into the news. And let's start with the recap of the Euros as we've been doing this past few weeks. Because today, or actually this was yesterday, Germany defeat Denmark, making it to the quarterfinals. And with this, we have our first Barcelona players in the quarterfinals. Both Ter Stegen and İlkay Gündoğan defeating Andreas Christensen's Denmark and making it to the quarterfinals, which is sad for Andreas Christensen, but I have to say Denmark did put up a good fight. It was a really good match by Denmark, but of course it was not, they could not match what Germany was putting out. Now Germany are in the quarterfinal with both Gundogan and Ter Stegen being the two first Barcelona players to qualify to that stage. Now more Euros coverage because today, this actually did happen today, Spain absolutely demolishing Georgia, putting out one hell of a spectacle and defeating Georgia 4-1. Spain were so good, they actually scored 5 goals because Georgia's goal was actually an own goal by Spain. Total masterclass by Spain. And more importantly, a masterclass by Lamine Yamal, as he's been doing every single match at Euro, and a masterclass by Nico Williams. Mr. John Laporta, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, but if you're watching this, please sign Nico Williams. The kind of Euros that Nico Williams is having is absolutely spectacular. What he did today was also spectacular. And his goal, which was Spain's third goal, was absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you, go watch the highlights. I can't play them on here for copyright infringement. But Laporta, please sign Nico Williams, because with Lamine Yamal on the right, Nico Williams on the left, we're going to have one hell of an attack. So please, I beg you, Laporta, sign Nico Williams. Now, with this victory, 4 more players from Barcelona are now in the quarterfinals. Of course, Pedri, Fermin, Lamine, and Nico Williams. And this victory also means that we're going to have one of the best clashes in the Euros. Spain versus Germany in the quarterfinals is going to be one hell of a match. Our 4 Barcelona players against Gundogan and Ter Stegen. It's going to be one hell of a match. I'm really looking forward to that. And with that, we move on to coverage of Copa America, because I did not mention this, but on Friday, Rafinha's Brazil defeated Paraguay. I think it was 4-1, if I'm mistaken, or 5-1. Great match by Brazil, kind of saving a little bit of face after the debacle in their debut when they tied against Costa Rica. And I have to say, it is a little bit worrying what we're seeing with Rafinha, because during that match, which Brazil needed to win, so this was not like Brazil had already qualified and their coach decided to use the subs, but during that match, Rafinha lost his starting position to Sergiño, which is his winger. Which again, very worrisome, because as you might recall, when Barcelona signed Rafinha, he was supposed to be the starting right winger because they thought Dembélé was going to leave. But Dembélé stayed, and Rafinha became his sub. Then Dembélé left, and we thought, okay, Rafinha is going to be a starter now. but instead became a mean sub. Then we moved Rafinha to the left. We thought he was going to be a starter there. But then he lost his position to Fermin Lopez, who's not even a winger, he's a midfielder. And now he has lost his position in Brazil to Sergiño. And this is not something you expect out of 68 million euro winger. This is, you pay 68 million, you expect your winger to be a starter, a difference maker, a star, and it's not looking like it. And this is what I mean when I say Rafinha is now Barca level, but people continue to insist. But anyways, let's move on to more specific Barcelona news, because we do have to talk about the space that Sergiño Dest has left on the wage bill. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Barcelona have reached an agreement to transfer Dest to PSV Eindhoven. This is a free transfer. He's going there for free, and Barcelona are retaining percentage of any future sales, which it is a good deal. I said this in yesterday's video. It's a good deal. You might ask, how is that a good deal? You know, we paid 21 million euros for Dest. Now he left for free. Well, it's a good deal because Dest, as you remember, he tore his ACL. And as a result of that, PSV Eindhoven decided that they weren't going to pay his option to buy. So Dest was going to be staying in Barcelona for another season. That meant Barcelona would have to cover his salary for an entire season. And the next summer, he would have left for free as a free agent, because that's when his contract would have expired. But instead now, yes, he's still leaving for free, but at least we don't have to pay his salary for a whole year. And with Barcelona retaining a percentage of his any future sales, if PSV Eindhoven offload Dest, we can still make money off his transfer. And now it's been revealed how much space will Dest be leaving on Barcelona's wage bill. And it's reported that it's going to be 10 million euros, because Sergiño Dest was making 3 million euros net in salary, which is 6 million gross. Plus, there were 4 million euros that Barcelona still had to make up for his amortization. So Dest, with his departure, will leave 10 million euros on Barcelona's wage bill, which might not sound a lot, but it actually is, because 10 million euros, we're talking about a salary of, you know, an important player, maybe not the highest top paid players, but someone in the middle, you know, maybe someone like Xavi. That's a salary that's around that range. So definitely an important exit, because again, it leaves space on Barcelona's wage bill. And speaking of space on wage bill, let's talk about Jaden Philogene, because Barcelona have officially made an offer for the English winger. Now, I talked about Philogene in a previous video. He's a left winger who currently plays for Hull City. He's someone who came up through the academy of Aston Villa. He was showing a lot of promise. I think he debuted a little bit too early in his career, and as a result, he didn't really live up to the expectations. He ended up spending several seasons on loan to different clubs. And finally, Hull City ended up signing him. In this past season, he finally, you know, kind of started meeting some of those expectations. He had a great season, scoring 12 goals and providing 6 assists. And as a result of that, Philogene has caught the attention of many European clubs, including Barcelona, who are considering him as option B for Nico Williams. So if Barcelona cannot sign Nico, Philogene will be our left winger. But even if we sign Nico Williams, Barcelona would still want to sign Philogene, because he could be a good alternative for both Nico and for Lamine Yamal, because he can play on both wings. So he can be a substitute for both Lamine and for Nico Williams if sign him. And well, today has been revealed that Barcelona have submitted the first offer to Hull City for Jaden Philogene. They are offering a 1-season loan with an option to buy worth around 20 to 23 million euros. But this option would be tied to certain objectives, including how many minutes played. So if Jaden Philogene comes to Barcelona, absolutely kills it, then Barcelona would trigger his option to buy. Or if he comes and he fails, then that option to buy would not be triggered, and he would head back to Hull City. I think that's a good way to do these loans, where we're going to buy him, but we're not just going to promise to buy him in a season. We're going to buy him if he does great. If not, you take him back. I think that's a good way to look at these kind of loans. Of course, we haven't heard from Hull City yet. Just know that Barcelona are serious about Jaden Philogene. They have submitted their bid. Now, we will end today's video by talking about İlkay Gündoğan, because in the recent interview, sounded like he aimed a dig at Xavi Hernandez. Now, we know that İlkay Gündoğan is not really a player to shy away from statements. You know, he criticized the Barcelona locker room when Barcelona lost El Clásico, and a lot of the players were seen in the locker room laughing and, you know, taking videos on Instagram and TikTok. And Gündoğan got really upset. He was like, what are you guys laughing about? We just lost to our bitter rival in our own stadium. He made those statements. He also made those statements after the loss to the PSG, where he criticized the whole. So he's definitely not someone to shy away from speaking his mind. That just goes to show it shows how he's a leader on off the field. He's someone who demands a lot from himself and his teammates. And if you don't meet those high expectations that he has of you, he is not afraid to speak up. Well, now he has spoken about his positioning in Barcelona last season under Xavi Hernandez. And this is what the German had to say. I'll make this actually a little bit bigger so you can see it. But İlkay Gündoğan said, for a long time, I've been playing for Germany without thinking too much. I'm so comfortable on the pitch with my teammates and in my position. At Manchester City, I played in this role. With Barcelona, I have played anywhere I have been needed. So it has been a bit messy with a lot of changes of position. I have needed to adapt constantly. Sometimes playing well is also knowing which position you play, who is playing around you, and feeling comfortable with it. So İlkay Gündoğan kind of criticizing his position last season, saying part of playing well is knowing what position you're going to play in and always playing in that one. But last season, he was kind of played everywhere, sometimes as a defensive midfielder, sometimes as a pivot, sometimes as a right interior, sometimes as a left interior. So, in Gündoğan saying that was a little bit messy, was, he did what he could, but of course, playing in different positions every match, that does affect your performance. And I think that goes to a point that I used to make a lot before, which is that Xavi Hernandez really did lack a system of play. There was no clear system in place. We didn't really know what Xavi tried to do in matches. We didn't really know what the role of each player was within that system because it was non-existent. And that goes to that point, which a lot of people said I was toxic, that point is not, that I was just being a hater. But here Gündoğan, our best midfielder last season, one of our leaders in the locker room, saying it was messy. And I agree because, again, there was no clear system of play, so players didn't really know what their role is. And you cannot expect a player to flourish who doesn't know what role he's going to be playing in, what system he's playing in. And Gündoğan saying just that. And I do have to say, I agree with that. And again, it goes to the point that I've made time and time again. Anyways, that is it for this video. I will be going live in a little bit to do a second video. There's more news. Again, I'm out of town, so I'll be doing short live streams to keep you up to date because I'm away from my computer. I can't edit and upload videos. I'm still going to be doing podcasts on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so I'll definitely see you there. But for now, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.